Hey friends. So I went to an event this evening. It was a film about a pipeline, an oil pipeline underneath Lake Michigan. Basically goes through the Straits of Mackinac. And it's apparently been an issue for years. It's been not a political issue, but an environmental issue for years. And it's almost sort of embarrassing that I have not been aware of it as an issue because the people have been fighting for years and petitioning for years, protesting for years. The movie tonight was made by two young men who basically did a paddle boarding trip through the Great Lakes from Mackinac down into Lake Michigan and up the Grand River into Lansing, Michigan, the capital, essentially to raise awareness about this issue. And and then they had there was a little Q&A afterwards with the two of them and a couple of other people who were a couple of other folks who have worked on the issue in various capacities, and something came up for me that it's still fresh because it was like an hour ago, but I keep receiving feedback from various people. I think part of why this drove home for me is because I was part of a speaking event in the same venue, a little movie theater here in town. I was part of a I was an organizer and an MC, sort of the MC, the host, for an event at this same venue just over a week ago. And as I listened today, a number of things were going on for me. One, the issue was coming into focus for me in a way that was really kind of eye opening. The essential issue is a pipeline been in operation for over 70 years, and it's posing a greater and greater threat to the Great Lakes. It's an oil pipeline that could rupture, could have could leak, and it would severely threaten it could cause a total disaster in the Great Lakes, which would be really sad. And furthermore, it's it alerted me to a kind of, I was like, if I don't know about this, what else don't I know about? In this place that I've been coming to all my life that I love so much, what else don't I know about what's either happening here or not happening here? What support does this place need? And because I had just been on stage in this venue and I could sort of feel the feel the air in the room, feel the group and the folks addressing the group, something came through for me about me using my voice. Because a number of times in circumstances like that, I have the urge to raise my voice. And I've received feedback just from a week ago that I use my voice effectively, that I seem to frame a message and deliver a message that really resonates and that moves the conversation forward. It seems to be something I know how to do, and it's something that I know I have an enthusiasm for, something that I know feeds me. I was experiencing some really pretty. If I went back and reviewed my own video post, I'm sure I would see I was experiencing some emotional swings and a, in some ways a level of kind of, I mean, darkness is strong, but it's also not totally inaccurate, but certainly a sense of confusion and wondering about my direction and my purpose. I've been sort of looking at my life, and I alluded to this yesterday in this post. I alluded to the conversation that I've had with my brother recently, and I've had with other family members and my wife and loved ones. I've been just thinking about what am I doing? And today, my ability to raise my voice, my ability to use my voice to create clarity and a message that resonates suddenly showed up for me. I was like, maybe that's, because what I noticed was I was sort of didn't resolve my previous statement. What I noticed about the event last week was I was experiencing these kind of confusion and some of this real wrestling, and then the event sort of arrived, and it's like I propelled myself into a place of enthusiasm and care and joy and confidence and effectiveness, empoweredness, and abundance almost immediately. It changed on a deep level the way I was seeing the world and my life. And so today, when I got the explicit message about using my voice, I realized maybe I really need to listen to that. Maybe I really need to think about how I use my voice and what I put it in service of, and really employ it effectively and employ it consciously. In other words, choose what I'm using my voice to support and promote. Because I think it's something that doing that feeds me in a way that almost nothing else does. It reminds me there's something, it's kind of like a funny allegory in another way in which this message feels like it's being kind of synchronistically offered to me right now, which is that there's a operetta It's like a kids operetta that's done every year, just down the road here, the CSA, which is Congregational Summer Assembly. It's a place where it's like an activities center for people in this area. And I did the operetta as a child. This year, my daughter thought she wanted to do it, but then realized she was going to have to. She had had a bit of a scare at a camp earlier this year where she lost track of me, and so she wasn't so sure she wanted to spend whole days without me, or not whole days, just a couple of hours a day. But my niece, my brother's daughter, jumped in with both feet, and she had her dress rehearsal tonight. She's a mermaid. She's going on stage tomorrow. It's going to be great. And it reminded me of when I did the operetta as a child. I don't even know how old I was, probably about her age, 6 or 7. And my mom tells the story. I don't really remember it, but my mom tells the story of the choir director coming up to her and saying, Robin really participates, and he's really lovely to have. I can never really hear him sing. And my mom came to me, so the story goes, and said, well, Robin, the choir director says you're doing a great job, but I can never hear you. And I said, maybe I should use my voice. So I think I was singing along or mouthing along, but not actually using my voice. And in a way, that story, again, over the last maybe couple of weeks since being here, has kind of come back to me as an allegory for something really quite profound in my life, which is I feel like there are ways in which I want to be using my voice. I deeply crave to be using my voice that I'm not. And so that feeling of not being heard, or of sort of going through some of the motions, but not connecting, is one that at this point feels germane, it feels relevant, it feels real. And I think I like having that image of myself as a young person, thinking maybe I should use my voice. But I'm saying the same thing now. Maybe I should use my voice. Maybe I should use my voice. Really use it, not just have it. So that's what's going on for me today. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.